Copyright be damned. I thought we'd all enjoy this music as we started.
What's
Luis,
up? What's up?
I've just sent you that the PowerPoint now. Welcome to everybody who's joining. I suspect we'll have a few more people turn up. So everybody knows this is a bit of a momentous occasion. This is, I think, the first official Agency Navigator live call. And we have with us the devilishly handsome chap on the left of your screen who's called Luis Berger. Luis is the lead media buyer at IAG Media. And Luis will be able to help with specific campaigns that you have and any service delivery questions, anything like funnel building, anything technical. Don't be afraid to challenge Luis. We do it on a daily basis. Officially, his job is restricted to working with clients and doing Facebook and Google ads, but we're yet to find something he can't do. So feel free to ask him about anything. There will be an opportunity, obviously, with these live calls to also ask Pierre, who will be on the next live calls, more agency-specific questions regarding reporting, client communication, sales, outreach, etc. But there will be a degree to which all of this overlaps. So we'll get started with Michael now. Actually, just before we do, very quickly turn it over to you, Luis. I think all you need to do is kind of say hello and introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Kieran. It's a beautiful introduction. I am Luis. As Kieran said, I work with marketing, media buying, doing ads all day long. If you have any questions about not only specific to ads, but also funnel building or conversion rate optimization, just throw it at me and we can see what we can do here.
Fantastic. Well, let's get started with Michael. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you, Kieran?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Awesome. First question is for you, Kieran. Essentially, I don't know if you saw the voice note I sent you on Telegram.
I didn't. I don't really use Telegram. I shall open it now and give it a listen.
Right. I mean, I can just ask you the question right here if you want, because
Yeah,
I don't use it as well. So essentially, my question is right now with our clients. So just to put it in context, basically our clients are realtors, and we qualify the leads for them as well. So we call them on their behalf, and obviously, just to monitor the quality of the calls, we record the calls through our system. And I found a way basically to remove, basically when we contact these people and when it's recorded, there's an automatic message at the beginning of the call saying this call will be recorded, whatever, from a robot. And I found a way basically to remove that phrase and still record the calls. Now, I wanted to get your opinion on, because of course, like this will increase conversion rate, in my opinion. But the other thing is, I'm not sure if in Canada it's actually legally okay to do so without actually telling people to do that we're recording. What I've done to try to back myself up in that scenario is in our privacy policy. I've put, the calls that we do on behalf of our clients are all recorded, and that privacy policy, I've put that link into the privacy policy link in the form that people fill out within Facebook. So technically, like, they should have access to it, even though nobody clicks on it. But yeah, what's your take on that?
So I'm just reading quickly now one of the first things I've found online. And there is the full name is the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act. So, got it. Okay, so according to this, you must inform the individual that the call must be recorded and make a reasonable effort to ensure that the individual understands the purposes of the recorded information, how it will be used. Recording must only take place if you have the individual's consent. So on that basis, with any sort of legal test, you want to err on the side of caution and be doing the right thing, but also balance that against reality, and to what extent people will be pissed off. For example, I would never really recommend that you, in England or Europe, that you include that annoying pop-up to opt in for cookies. But recording calls is slightly more serious. On this basis, I mean, if I were to interpret this law, the two tests according to this are that they must be aware of it, and that they must have consented to it. So if prior to the call they are made aware of your privacy policy and they consent to it, that would enable you to record it without that initial message. But if they only get that after the fact, or they're not exposed to that at all, you're on pretty shaky ground there. So at what point in the funnel do they kind of consent to that privacy policy?
Well, technically it's before giving their information, so before we call them.
So on that basis, I think that would be fine. I don't think you're going to get into any trouble with that. Most of the time, people aren't going to find out that you've recorded them. And if they do, then you have a response to that.
Yeah, just to give some perspective, I think it's important to have the checkbox where they check that they have read the privacy policy and agree to it, because then they are 100%, they are saying they are 100% aware of it and that they agree to it. But I think if you only put the privacy policy there and don't create a checkbox for them to agree on, then I'm not sure if it's 100% compliant with the laws in that case.
Okay, so I should have like the checkbox in the Facebook form.
Yeah, I mean, generally that's good practice.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing that you do with the mail when you say, I'm not gonna send you a spam and I agree to receiving marketing mails from this company.
Right. Got it. Okay, and then, so I think that next question will be more for you, Luis. Essentially, what I've noticed is for my own ads, for my agency, when I put higher budgets on a daily basis, let's say $50 or $60 per day, I've noticed that sometimes, there's the delayed attribution from Facebook. So let's say I do get a lead, but it's not showing up on Facebook. So I have to make a decision whether to kill that ad set or let it run. And since it's showing up like no leads or fewer leads than I got in reality, then I turn it off, right?
Yes.
Compared to when I put lower budgets, like $10 per day, for example, or 15, I've noticed that it gives me like more time before making decisions based on the KPI I'm optimizing for. And usually I get, better, I end up making better decisions. So wanted to get your opinion on this. Have you noticed the same thing on your side?
Yes, 100%. Whenever you scale, you're going to get more delayed conversions, but there are things that you can do to have better tracking and take better decisions based on the data that you have. The first one is we always try to use more than just Facebook tracking. So for example, for all of our clients and for ourselves, we set up Google Analytics, at least Google Analytics, and we use UTM tracking. So you have the option inside Facebook. If you go into your ads, you have the option to add UTMs there on the URL parameters. So we always add the campaign ID, the ad set ID, and the ad ID, because then we can see inside Google Analytics everyone that converted, sometimes even before than on Facebook, because it can, since the iOS 14 update, it can take up to 48 hours for the data to be sent to Facebook. So we don't want that 48 hours window. And if we have other sorts of tracking, it's always better. But it also depends if you use a CRM or if you use whatever you use to capture the data from the leads. That should be your number one source of information. So if you're seeing leads coming in, whatever it is, it could be a Google Doc, you have to look at there and see, okay, we have leads coming in, so that's a good sign. But if you don't, then you know, okay, it's not working 100%, I can pause it, or if it's coming, I can keep it, either scale it or not. But I would not rely only on Facebook tracking, especially now since the iOS 14 update. Facebook across the board for our clients, we have been seeing around 60% drop in conversions reported. When compared to the backend, we see like 100 conversions. On Facebook, you see like 40, so a 60% drop there. So 100% don't use only Facebook to do that. You can just Google. It's pretty simple to set up UTM tracking and have those UTMs on Google Analytics. That's one layer of tracking, and you can possibly add more. There are a bunch of third-party tracking softwares. We are currently testing a bunch of them as well, and they give you a better perspective on all the data that you have for your business. With that being said, keep in mind that the late attributions will still happen with how many tracking you have, because there are people that just click on your ad, look at the video or whatever funnel you use, and then they just don't convert right away. But then 3, 4, 5 days later, they do convert, and there's not much to do about it, rather than running like retargeting ads, etc. But they will still convert late. So you have to consider your customer journey, see what's the average conversion period that it takes for someone to convert. Also on Google Analytics, you do have this information. You can click on the cohort analysis, then you know, like, oh, it takes like 3, 4, 5 days for a customer to convert on average. And then with that in mind, you can also always analyze your campaigns based on this 3-day period or whatever day period that your customer usually takes to convert.
Okay, sounds good. So, so you would still recommend essentially having budgets like $50 per day if I want to scale, but having like UTMs set up, right?
Yes, you have the most important thing is having the UTM setup. So you have the tracking, and we scale horizontally, which is duplicating ad sets. Instead of increasing the budgets from, let's say we have an ad set running that's doing well at 50, we don't go and scale it to 100. We duplicate it to another ad set running at $50 a day as well. So we have 2 ad sets running at $50, but I wouldn't say that $50 is a high budget. Actually, we usually run, depending on the client, we run from $30 to $100 a day per ad set. Sometimes even a bit more, but I don't think that's too much to run in one ad set. But if you would go like 500 in one ad set, then I would think it's too much. I always like to have at least 5 ad sets running, so I hedge my bets.
Okay, got it. And yeah, right now I have UTM set up with ActiveCampaign, so I can track like from which ad and which ad set it came from. But I'd be curious to know where exactly I can see like the customer journey, like how much time it takes for them to convert in Google Analytics. Like I have mine open up right now if you want me to share, or if you want to share your screen as well.
If you do have the conversion events set up on Google Analytics, meaning you have the Google Analytics tracking for calls or for purchases or whatever event you want to evaluate, you do have the option to see a cohort analysis. Let me open mine here to see exactly where that is. Are you using Google Analytics 4 or the old Google Analytics?
I'm not aware. I think it's probably the old.
What do you see on the home page of Google Analytics?
I see Google Analytics home, users, sessions, bounce rate, session duration.
Okay, so you're probably using the old one. Let me pull up one here just to see where exactly it's the cohort analysis. 1 second. Let me see here. Just not gonna share my screen because that's sensible information from one of our clients. Overview. So if you just go into the main bar, the search bar from Google Analytics, and type out cohort, they're gonna show you your cohort analysis, or actually take you to the cohort analysis page. It's typed out like this. Let me type it in the chat, cohort.
Yeah, I found it. Okay.
And you'll be able to see if you have your conversion tracking set up the right way, you'll be able to see how many people are converting on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and that works really well.
So, okay, day 1, day 2. Okay, so do they show you though the exact conversion you want to see?
That's a great question. I believe you do have the option to create a segment. Oh no, you can use, if you scroll up, you have the option to select metric.
Yeah.
And then you can select, for example, revenue, page view, section, transactions. In your case, I don't know if you have there set up a schedule, for example, a schedule conversion, or if you want purchases, you can use transactions, and then it will show the data based on that metric that you selected.
Yeah, do you have all of my, let's say, goals set up? I think they call it goals in Google Analytics, but I don't see the ones that I created in there.
So what you can also do is click on create a segment, and then on the segments, you click new segment, and you have the option to select there. I believe it's based on behavior. Let me see here, or based on conditions. You have the option to select your goal, and then you're gonna just see the data for that specific segment of people that converted, and then it's going to show on how long it took them to convert. You may have to Google it a little. It could be not quite complicated, but take a few steps. I don't know from the top of my head, but you can definitely do it.
Okay. Got it. Because yeah, go ahead.
And then once you have this data, you know exactly, okay, my users usually take 4 days to convert. Then you know that whenever you're looking at your ads, you cannot judge the stats from yesterday, from the day before, or even from the day before the day before. You have to wait 4 days to start. Usually you have to have those 4 days passed to see all the conversions. Because if it takes 4 days for someone to convert, you look at the data from yesterday, you're not seeing a full picture of what's happening and the real results that campaign is bringing you.
Right. Okay. If I share my screen with you, are you able to walk me through how we could see that?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let me promote you to a panelist, Michael. There you go. You'll rejoin now, and then you'll be able to show your screen. Okay, you should be able to show your screen now.
Yes. Perfect. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, try going into new segment now on the red button. Yeah. And now you should probably, if you go, try to see behaviors. No, there are conditions then. Now, if you click on where it says add content, let's see if there is goals. Try to search for goal or your specific goal.
Okay.
Call schedule, yeah. You have to select the first one, or actually the right one. I don't know if it's the first or not in your case.
Was it? What's the difference between goal completions, goal starts, and goal value?
Goals completions, yeah. Goals completions is someone that completed the goal. Just have to make sure it's the right goal. I think it's that one, call schedule, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Per session, then you could just say it's higher than 1 or greater than 1. Or greater than 0, it would work.
Greater than 0, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, greater than 0. Okay, let's see how many people. Okay, Seems not that much people, but let's save it. Let's see what happens. Oh, you have to give it a name. You can call it converters or booked calls. Yeah, I can see most of the people are booking calls on day 0. That's really good because it means that, or actually everyone, you can select probably a longer time period just to have more data. I think you have selected like, yeah, last 7 days. Let's do last 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, now here you can see, take a look at day 4, for example. You see there, even though like most of the people are coming on day 0, which is good, which means like they see the ad, they look at your funnel and they book a call right away, you still have a bunch of people coming on day 1, day 2, and even day 4. You can see there's a big bump on day 4. So you what you can do is, for example, the total of it is 39 plus 7, 46, 48. That's going to be like 56. So you have like 56 conversions, and you can make like the percentages. Oh, 39 out of 56, don't know how much that is, but it's probably like 80% or something. So, you know, like 80% of your results are coming on day 0, but then you still have like those 20% that you know are going to come on the next 4 days. So you have to keep that in mind.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So that means I should always look at the last 4 days before making a decision whether to kill an ad set or not, right?
I would say look at the same day 0. So you can look at yesterday. If you see that you're really behind your KPIs, so you're not hitting KPIs, like you're really far away from your KPIs, you can kill it. But if you're close to your KPIs, or if you're breaking even, you still have those 20% that you know are gonna come, you know? So if you're breaking even, you can keep it, and then you look at the day 4, the view of 4 days. But if you're really behind your KPIs, if you're really like, okay, I'm investing like $100, only made 20 or whatever, like $1,000, only make $200, then you're not making it with the 20% increase on that. But if you're investing like $1,000, making $1,000, you know, there's a 20% increase still to come on the next 4 days.
Okay.
But
Got
that's a really solid one, because majority come from day 0. That's the best case scenario, because then you know, okay, if things are not doing well today or yesterday, I know I can already change things, because they're most likely not going to do like 100% increase on the next 4 days, only a 20% increase. So you can optimize faster this way.
Okay. Got it. And then I don't know if I have time left. Had another question regarding Google Ads conversions.
Probably erring on the side of going past the time. So if we could make it quick, that would be great.
Sure. Essentially, it says they are unverified, and I don't know if it's normal or not. What do you think I should do?
No, it's not normal. If you install this conversion more than like 3 hours ago, it should already be verified. If it's not verified, it means there's something wrong with the conversion tracking installation of it. So should probably just reinstall the tag, or try to do it through Google Tag Manager or something like this. But it's definitely not. If when did you install this?
Like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh no, 100% it's not working. Yeah, you have to reinstall it.
Okay. And what's the best way to do so?
I usually do through Google Tag Manager. Just install Google Tag Manager on all your pages, and then you can install the tags directly from Google Tag Manager. They have all the integrations here. So if you go to edit and then click on installation, they have the option to install through Google Tag Manager. It's pretty simple, best way to do it. And you should have like a bunch of tutorials on Google, and also I think on Agency Navigator, we also got a tutorial, pretty in-depth tutorial about this.
Okay, awesome. Will do. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Henry. Henry, how are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm good. I'm good. Um, how are you guys?
Very good, thank you, Luis. I won't
Doing
speak for
great,
you.
man. Great. Always great. Can you go ahead and ask your question, Henry?
Henry? Okay. Slight technical difficulties with Henry. No worries. We shall come back to you shortly.
Hello?
Oh, no. There we
Hello?
go.
Okay.
Hey,
Can you
Yeah.
hear
go
me?
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, something happened with the microphone. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So I wanted to know if I could share my screen and walk you through the ads I have for a client because they haven't really been converting well for a while. And sort of help me identify what could be the main issue.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. I'll promote you to a panelist now. So you should now be able to share your screen.
All right, let me share my screen. So, okay. All right. So what I thought was the main issue is the website, right? I made the client update it and fix it up and all that. And they took a while to do that, but they finally are almost done with it. So I wanted to sort of, let me know if there's any specific data you need to see so I can add it or anything, but
Yeah,
basically,
100%. Is this an e-commerce client?
yeah, e-commerce.
Okay, what exactly do they sell?
They sell camping grills, right? A very travel-friendly grill.
Okay. And what's the average pricing of it?
$75. Well, the AOV, I guess, would be around $85 because they don't have free shipping. So people pay for the shipping as well.
Okay, perfect. And if you can pull up the ROAS so we can see what's happening inside the campaigns.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me go back to campaigns. Yeah, the ROAS are quite low.
So you're only seeing one purchase here on the last 7 days.
Yes.
What was the span of it?
What spend was, I lost it. Yeah, here.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Is that the same thing you're seeing from your backend? Because the first thing I always ask if it's conversion tracking, if it's working fine, because as I said on the last question,
Yeah.
is that we're seeing like 60% differences between the backend from the front end. So sometimes the purchases are coming in, but we're just not seeing them inside Facebook. If that's not the case, then we can go to investigate it a little further.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit off, but not like it's accurate. We haven't been generating too many sales recently. Like maybe there's like one or two more at most.
Okay, so what is, let me see what your cost per click is.
Yeah, it's very, very high.
Yeah,
As you can
it's not
see.
that high, but it is high. And also, what is the conversion rate? If you have it on Facebook, we can also see on Shopify
Oh yeah,
if that works.
its conversion rate for the last 90 days is 0.55, so extremely low. That's why I asked them to update the website.
Yeah, 100%. This is probably the main problem is the conversion rate is definitely too low. You have to aim at least 1.5 to make it profitable on scale, but ideally even more. Like the clients that we were managed to scale like to really high numbers, they had at least 4 or 5%, sometimes even 6 to 8% conversion rate. Can I take a look at the product page?
Yeah, of course.
Because there are a few things that no matter how much you test or no matter what you do inside Google, inside Facebook Ads Manager, they're not going to make it if the product page is not good enough or if you don't fix the conversion tracking. Okay, what I usually say, it's good to have videos here so you can actually see the product being used like in real life and what it looks like. It's always a good idea to have videos. Okay, add to cart looks fine. Can you click F12 if you're on Windows just to see on mobile?
Oh, I'm in Mac.
It's probably F12 as well, I think. If you have this
I
button.
just I don't have F12. Oh,
Okay,
maybe.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one,
It
that one.
worked. Yeah.
If you click right beside where it says elements, there's like a little cell phone icon on the left of it.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, you can see here we already scroll a bit. Yeah, you can see there's
Up
like this
or-
glitch. That this is a really important thing
Oh,
because
This.
it could be overlapping with the add to cart button. So you have to pay attention to those little details. Sometimes people may
Okay.
not be able to click on the add to cart button. Like that's really important. And keep in mind that usually 80% of the traffic comes from mobile. So you should always prioritize the mobile version of it. Other than that, it looks okay. The thing is that I cannot see the price when I first enter the website, probably because it's right up behind the icons there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, that could be really affecting your conversion rates. Like just by fixing that, I think you're going to have a good increase. And keep in mind that if you increase your conversion rate from 0.5% to 1%, you're already doubling your ROAS down the line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay, yeah.
So that's the first thing. Try to optimize this page as much as possible. Now let's go back to Facebook Ads Manager really quick. I want to take a look inside your campaign, your cold campaign.
We have a budget of $50 a day, right? So it's not huge. Also.
Okay, we have three. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. What I like to do when you have low budgets is have less ad groups, because I never like to run with less than 50% of my average order value in terms of budget. So let's say my average order value is 80. I don't like to run with less than 40 as my budget for the ad set, because if you run with less, you're not giving Facebook enough budget to spend to optimize for the purchase that you want, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll try like just to pick the best ads. Of course, like you have to test, so you have to have more ad sets with low budget. But once you find like your best performing ad set, your best performing audience, I would consolidate that ad set with just one, like a campaign with just one ad set, and make the budget higher for that one. In this case, let me see again the ROAS so I can see which one's working better. Yeah, it'll just be like this campfire one, like keep running with it with a higher budget. And let me see your ads inside this campfire ad set. If you can preview them. So for example, also you can also already see that this first ad is getting good results, 38 per purchase. That's solid. So yeah, you can see that's almost a 2x ROAS right there. So probably just by seeing this, if you just kill all the other ad sets, keep just this ad running inside this ad set, the results are probably going to get better just by doing that.
Okay, so I should turn this one off, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because
I'll
do it right now.
Yeah, I'll definitely just keep that one that's has a good ROAS. No reason not to keep it as the single one. Okay, now let me preview the ads so we can see if we need any creative inputs in there.
Should I just click edit so that
you can select this ad and click on preview at the top there.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's fine. But for e-commerce, I always suggest having videos as the creative. Sometimes I know like the clients don't have everything that it takes to shoot videos, but it's really important to aim to have videos, because videos tend to perform really way better than just image ads on e-commerce.
Yeah, I recently asked them for some videos that they have, so hopefully soon I'll get them and add.
Yeah, what I like to do is I always have like a little folder with a bunch of examples of good ads for e-commerce, and then I send to the client so they have inspiration to create ads from those examples. And yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. So just aim to have some video ads done. Keep this one ads running for now. Keep the best performing ad set and try to work on your page to increase its conversion rate. Because if you do that, you're probably going to kill it for this client. I think your internet connection is a bit.
Still there, Henry?
The
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
think it's connected.
No worries. We'll move on to the next one. Franz. Franz, how you doing?
Was it me? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was me. Hi, how's it going?
Doing great, man. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I have a question to you, Luis. It's regarding some ads. So somehow I ended up in a partnership where I manage 10 to 13 ads account right now, and we
Mhm.
do lead gen for gyms.
Mhm.
So basically, I have accounts with gyms which have like 10 to 15 gyms, which is running since 3 months with the same creatives and giving me the same lead prices because it's like big cities. But we had also gyms which is like in a smaller part of like a town, like a small city. And what I'm seeing there, I usually use conversion campaigns, which is like working in the first couple of days, and then I see the frequency jumping really high. And
Mhm.
I'm like I only use like a one funnel step. I often do like maybe retargeting, but most of the time the people convert like on their first or second impression, which is fine then with one funnel step.
Yes.
But what is very important to me is when I do like say to my client, okay, let's do like a image video, which is like a high performance video or so, which is showing the gym, etc. And I spread it in your neighborhood, and then go with the lead gen on the retargeting, which giving me like a bigger audience which I can target because the like for example reach is like cheaper or video views is cheaper than a conversion campaign, right?
Yes.
So first of all, do you think that there could be an option like a two funnel step? And if yes, should I go like with video views because I want to be like people who are interested in the video and then can retarget the people which watched like 75% of the video? Or should I do like reach or I don't know what's the third in English, like it's it's brand awareness, right?
Yes. Before answering this question, I have to ask you, what exactly is your targeting? Are you using open targeting just for that specific area, or are you using interest and the area as well?
Usually I go broad. Like I don't do any interests. I just go broad and let do Facebook the job.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Yeah. In that case, if you're using conversion campaigns with broad and your senior frequency go higher, it means that Facebook is segmenting your audience too much. So you don't have enough people to run with your budget because you're already reaching the same person over and over again.
Exactly.
So with that in mind, I would totally use video views to create an audience from there. Probably like just use the video views with broad, same targeting, go for the video views, and then go for, you have to test it really, but I would first go to 25 and 50% video views and retarget them with the lead generation. You can either go with lead generation conversion campaigns, like the ones that are native lead generation from Facebook, or you could create a conversion campaign outside Facebook with the landing page. You have to test both to see which one works best. On our experience, usually the lead generations campaign from Facebook, you get a lower cost per lead, but the quality is not comparable to having a separate landing page with your offer in there.
Yeah, so basically I usually do landing pages on ClickFunnels, which is absolutely fine. And I also see like really good opt-in rates, so that should be fine. So now I know that I do video views, and regarding the budget, let's say the customer has like 1,000 to 1,500 euros on budget. When I do a conversion campaign, I see anything between like 50 or 30 euros in conversion, which is fine. But when I do like video views, how do I do the math that the cost per lead is like in this area?
I would,
Or-
yeah, you have to consider both campaigns at the same time, right? So
Exactly.
you just aggregate the two campaigns and see what is the total cost you have in them and what is the total number of leads, and then you divide cost per number of leads, you get the total cost per lead from those two campaigns at the same time. You have to aggregate the data of both. And in terms of you're probably going to ask about the dividing the budgets to them. Yeah, I'm probably would go with around 70% or 60% to the cold one, to the video view campaign, and then retargeting with the rest. Because probably you're going to run through your audience really quick with the retargeting audience, so you don't need that much budget.
Yeah, exactly. And would you say I should do like 1 week of video views and then go into the retargeting, or does it only take like 24, 48 hours? Because I also did lead gen for restaurants, and once I did like, I don't know, like a $1,000 spent on video views, and then I had lead prices of like 50 cents or so for the restaurant, which was amazing. But like, I don't know if it's working the same way with the gym's lead gen. And I also I only did video views for 2 or 3 weeks, and then 1 week of lead gen.
Yeah, it's probably going to be really similar to the restaurant one actually, but I would do around 1 week of video views and then keep the video views and add the retargeting. Or you can do even less. You can do like 5 days to 7 days of video views and then add the retargeting on the back of it, just to build that audience in the first few days. And then once you have that audience built, you just keep the two running, so you are always renewing your audience, but also converting the audience that are already built.
Exactly. Okay. Sounds logic. Good. I will test this. I was expecting something like this, but I wasn't quite sure. And would you do the retargeting campaign into the same ad set group, or in the same campaign but a different ad set group, or a different campaign? Or it has to be a different campaign.
Yeah, it has to be a different campaign because of a different objective.
Would you go with a conversion or with a traffic campaign? Because
conversion probably, but if I see the conversions are getting too expensive, I would change to the lead generation campaign inside Facebook to get the leads inside Facebook.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. I will test this.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. Sounds good. Very good.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Next up is Oscar. Oscar, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, no, it's going great. Nice to finally speak to you, Luis. But
Awesome.
I have a very simple question for today. Very easy. I just posted in the group as well, but I thought I'm already on this call. Might as well ask here. So the question is, what's a really good place to research Facebook ads and really match it and get comfortable with the service delivery, in the meantime while we wait for phase 6 at least?
Man, there's not such thing as getting comfortable with service delivery. You're only going to get there once you start doing it. But what I always like to do is whenever I'm on Facebook, I see a good ad, I save that ad. So I create a swipe file of a bunch of ads, and then I know okay, those people are really running good ads. I see their ads all the time, so I know they're doing well. So what I do, I go to Facebook ads library. They have a library with all the ads from all the advertisers on Facebook. That's from Facebook themselves. And you can search for any business there. So I start just searching for businesses and see what they're running. And the cool thing is that you can search for keywords in there. So for example, let's say you're doing ads for one specific niche, let's say gyms. You can search for gym ads there and see everything that's working. You can take a look at their ads, but not only that, you can click on the ads and see the landing pages, see the offer, and then you can start funnel hacking everything that's working for that specific niche. I usually do that quite a lot. I actually love when Iman asks me to do that for Agency Navigator and all the programs, because you learn a lot by doing that. You learn what types of creatives work, what types of landing pages work, and what types of offer work. And those are the biggest drivers of success when it comes to media buying is not like testing different audiences, not creating like a bunch of CBOs and ABOs, et cetera, et cetera. The really important parts of it are always the creatives, the offer, and the landing pages. So if you go into the library of businesses that work, that have really high performing campaigns, you're going to get a really good batch of creatives to copy from, to model from. Always not copy them, but you can get inspiration from them and see what's working, what formats, what models, even video scripts. You can base your ads based on them. And same for the landing pages, you can see what's converting the best. And also for the offers, see, okay, this type of product is working, this type of pricing is working. And that's all it takes to have a really good, successful business for yourself and for your clients.
Okay, yeah, no, that all makes sense. But how do I actually know how if something is working? You know, if it's the creative or the copy, how do I know if it's like working for them?
Okay, so here's the thing. The first way to know if it's working, you go into their ad library. If you see it has been running like since 2 months ago, you know it's working, because nobody's gonna run an ad for 2 months if it's not working. If it doesn't work, you usually kill it in like 3, 4, 5 days. But if you see something has been running for 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, then 1 month, 2 months, you know it's definitely working. Another thing is that when you go into the advertisers on the Facebook ad library, it says the total number of ads from that specific account. So if they have a bunch of ads running, let's say they have like 100, 200, even 1,000 ads, they are doing quite well, because you can even search on Google the page limit per ad, because when you create a new page, you have like an ad limit of 250 ads, and you have to spend more than that to get more limit. So if you see someone's running with 1,000 ads, it means they are over that limit. So they are spending quite a lot already. And then you can judge based on how many ads they have and for how long they have been running.
Okay, yeah, that all makes sense. So it really just comes down to the time frame that those ads are running, and then
the total numbers of ads that they have running.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That's all I really had for today. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Amazing. Thanks, Oscar.
Bye.
Well, I think this brings to a conclusion the first ever Agency Navigator call. We're still getting used to the platform and the frequency that we can upload stuff with, but we'll try and get this recording up there as soon as possible. Thank you very much to Luis for turning up, and for everybody else. Really means a lot that you guys turn up to these. And we hope we can bring you loads more value moving forward. So we'll see you all next week with Pierre. Thanks, guys.